Our Nation Sports Show. Just when you thought the defending NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets, were finished in their series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, trailing 2-0, like a true battle-tested champion does, Denver came out swinging with aggression in games 3 and 4 on the road. 2 complete dominant team victories by the Nuggets, tying the series at 2 games apiece. Back at home for the pivotal Game 5, the Nuggets once again dominated Minnesota to a blowout victory, led by the 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic. Now with their backs against the wall, trailing 3-2 at home, can Minnesota force this series to Denver for a decisive Game 7? Or will the Nuggets once again punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals? In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics lead their series against the Cleveland Cavaliers 3-1. The Celtics can punch their ticket to their 6th Eastern Conference Finals in the last 8 years. The New York Knicks lead their series against the Indiana Pacers 3-2. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks are in a slugfest, tied at 2 games apiece. Tonight, our Nation Sports Show has you covered on all the NBA playoffs action and more. It's showtime!
To the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. If it's the world of sports and we're live on YouTube, it's our Nation Sports Show. What is going on here, everybody? Welcome to a special Wednesday edition of our Nation Sports Show. And I am your host for this evening, or should I say this afternoon, Stephen Wyand. What is going on, everybody? And joining me here in a little bit will be Joseph Thornton, and Kevin Rory may be stopping by here during today's show to give his thoughts on the NBA playoffs and the upcoming NFL schedule that will be released later on tonight, but some games have already been announced for the upcoming season. But before we get to all of the festivities happening in the world of sports, we got to plug the social media platforms. Up first on Twitter at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and where I am live currently right now, riding solo on YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe these broadcast videos to all your family and your friends that love the world of sports. And we cover everything: NFL, NBA, you know the drill, MLB, even a little NHL at times, and UFC, and sometimes we might sprinkle in a little professional wrestling. But with that being said, the sports show is live today. Unfortunately, the show couldn't be live yesterday due to a family emergency in Ezra's family. It was supposed to be him and Joey yesterday. I was at a concert last night. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, for Judas Priest and Sabaton's date on their tour that's happening right now. The tour will be wrapping up in the next week or so. It was a great show. Both bands sounded great. And the opening act, Sabaton, who I've known these guys as far as their music for the past 10 years, thanks to my cousin Eric. Shout outs to Eric. He knows good music. And these guys sounded incredible live. And the crowd was really good for them, because I think they seemed really surprised how good the audience was as far as responding, as far as dancing, singing, headbanging, all that good stuff. Then Judas Priest came out. I mean, Rob Halford and the boys. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, over 50 years of pure heavy metal. Just an incredible show as always by Priest, and both bands sounded great. And also, I forgot to mention too last week on the show that last Monday I went to Vienna, Virginia for a progressive metal band by the name of Wheel. They are from Finland and they are a phenomenal band. If you're into that progressive metal rock type stuff, Tool, Opeth, as far as the heaviness with Opeth or Carnival or any of those bands, then Wheel is for you. And great show by those guys. And ladies and gentlemen, just as we're getting started here today, joining me right now, better now than never, he is a Washington Commanders football fan. He is an Atlanta Braves fan. He is an all-around good dude, and he's helping me today covering the world of sports. And what the hell am I jabbing on about? Joey Thornton, what's going on, pal?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure, like Steven said, we couldn't do the show last night because of a family emergency in Ezra's family. Hope his sister's doing very well right now. But we are here, we are live on a Wednesday talking about sports, so let's go, baby.
Yeah, and as I said a few minutes ago, Joey, possibly Kevin could be joining us here today. He sent me a text message saying he wanted to, if possibly he could come on today and talk about the NBA playoffs, what's been going on with that, and obviously the NFL schedule comes out later today. But as we all know, some significant games have been announced already, but there's so much going on. I mean, it's crazy. Like, while I just said it, let's talk about some of the things with the NFL, because as reported a couple of days ago by Adam Schefter and company, the opening game on September 5th at Arrowhead Stadium, it is the two-time back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in a AFC championship game rematch. And also announced on Monday Night Football on September the 9th, it will be Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And for Rodgers' sake, I bet he hopes that he won't be I bet he hopes that he'll be lasting more than 4 plays, but I digress. But anyways, I mean, so there's a lot to chew on. I mean, there's a couple of Black Friday games. Netflix has been announced to do a couple of Christmas games this year. I mean, there's so much going on, Joey. I mean, we don't know the full schedule yet, but there already have been a few significant, games. Now, I know I haven't mentioned a couple of them probably because it's off the top of my head, but what are your thoughts so far on the games that have been released for the upcoming schedule?
Well, for the games that have already been announced, I gotta say, first off, finally, the NFL gives us an exciting opening first game between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Finally. You finally give us an opening game that is worth watching, because the NFL, I'm sorry to say, has absolutely sucked when giving us opening night games over the past number of years, but finally we have us a good one. And all I have to say for the first Monday night tilt between the Jets and the 49ers is, or actually I could just sum up in 3 words: poor Rodgers. Not. He's gonna get his butt creamed by that San Francisco 49er defense, and like you said, Steven, hopefully he'll last more than 4 plays, because if he can only last 4 plays against a team that is subpar on defense, imagine what the Niner defense will do to him in the first 4 plays.
And it's so fitting that he faces San Francisco, a team that he could not beat when it mattered the most in the playoffs when he was with the Green Bay Packers.
More specifically, the NFC Championship.
Yeah, when the Niners steamrolled them, 55-26 or something like that. I mean, that's been
Yep.
5 years ago when they ran over that entire Green Bay defense and made them look like.
Oh, hang on. We got a little interesting get up here in regards to the NFL schedule.
Okay, go right ahead.
The Christmas Day games have been announced. They will feature Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, ooh, we got us a good one. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Woo!
Ooh.
That's going to be a good one between the Ravens and the Texans. That's going to be a good one. Wow.
That'll be a good one. And CJ Stroud and them Texans, they are hungry. I mean, after acquiring Stephon Diggs in the offseason and Joe Mixon in the offseason, I mean, my goodness gracious. I mean, they are loaded on the offensive side of the ball. And just so much happening, for this Texans team. And who would have thought this team, who was a laughing stock of a team 3 years ago, is now laughing all the way to having primetime games happening this season. And speaking of primetime, the Detroit Lions are going to be heavily featured in primetime because their quarterback, Jared Goff, got paid.
Yes, he did. A 4-year extension, $212 million. And all I got to say is he deserves it.
Yes, he does deserve it. I mean,
he deserves it.
What more can you say? I mean, the Detroit Lions were one game away from the Super Bowl and facing the Kansas City Chiefs. And also the city of Detroit hosted the 2024 NFL Draft. I mean, I'm so happy for that city, and, just what they've gone through, the pain that they've gone through, and all that type of stuff, and getting to where they want to be now. All of those struggles was worth in the end because they have a high-powered offense and a defense that's pretty underrated. And knowing the Lions, they're going to prove to the entire national media that this was not a fluke season last year. What you got?
That I've been looking at some other games that have been announced for the NFL schedule, and the NFL international games have all been announced.
Okay.
So we're going to start things off in Sao Paulo.
Ooh, Brazil.
On September 6th, which will feature Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
And let's see.
And that's different because that's obviously on a Friday.
Yep. And then, let's see, October the 6th in London, we're going to see Aaron Rodgers and the Jets take on potential Vikings starter J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings.
And also, I hate to say this, but October 6th is also will be the 3-year anniversary of the absolute, or 2-year anniversary of the absolute shittiest football game that has been played in America. That would be the Broncos and the Colts.
Don't tell me. Do not bring up that Colts-Broncos game. That was putrid.
Oh, it was horrible.
That was absolutely putrid.
Oh, it was horrible.
Watch the Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Rams that ended 13-3.
Oh God. Oh God. But yeah. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
Our other international games, the following week, is going to feature Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Chicago Bears.
Oh, that'll be interesting because as we all know, Chicago has their number 1 overall draft pick in Caleb Williams.
Yep. And then the following week is going to be the Jaguars again playing in London. Only this time they'll be playing Drake May and the New England Patriots.
Can we just call them when they go international the London Jaguars?
Pretty much. Oh, God. This last game.
Oh, no.
Oh, they could have done better. They could have done better. It's going to feature Danny freaking Dimes Jones and the New York Giants. Oh, first off, this game is taking place in Munich, Germany. But yeah, it's gonna feature Danny freaking Dimes Jones and the New York Giants taking on Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers.
Ugh, 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 ugh.
Hey, Steven, your favorite team is playing in Germany. What's
Stop
up
it.
with that?
Stop it. You've only been on for what, 10 minutes and you're already up my ass with this bullshit? Nonsense. Nope. No. No, 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 no. That is blasphemy. I would never, ever support that team. Oh, horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But speaking of horrible, oh God, I feel bad for Tom Brady. His first game as a top analyst in the NFL is the Cowboys and the Browns.
Well, Amari Cooper gets to roast his former team, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, and maybe Brady can actually get to shred that Cowboys team. Oh wait, everybody always shreds the Cowboys.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other games that have been announced. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Week 9. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears will be taking on. Caleb Williams might want to stay away from this game because he'll be taking on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not going to be good.
All right, let's see. I believe the Thanksgiving games have been announced. Let's see. It's going to feature the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions.
Hey, what's going on, Big T and William there in the chat? What's up, fellas?
Hey, Big T and William, what's going on, fellas? But yeah, that's the 12:30 game. The 4:15 game is going to feature the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Excuse me, Cowboys. Ooh, but an interesting game to wrap up Thanksgiving. It's going to feature Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins going up against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, that'll be a pretty good game.
That would be pretty sweet.
Let's just hope that Tagovailoa and that offensive line can block for him. And the Green Bay Packers, I think, they're going to make some headlines in the season next year. I mean, they were already ahead of schedule, last year, were the Packers. And to make the progress that they had last year as the season went along, and they proved all the haters and the naysayers wrong that, Jordan Love's not the quarterback. Clearly, he is the quarterback.
Yeah, clearly he is. And another leak that has been made is in week number 8. We're going to see the top 2 overall draft picks go at it. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears against Jaden Daniels and my Washington Commanders.
That'll be interesting. I wonder, will that be a primetime game?
I doubt it.
Well, we shall see when the full schedule is released on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, wow. And a lot of games have been leaked for week 1 already. Let's see. We got the Texans and the Colts, the Patriots and the Bengals, and the Cardinals and the Bills.
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting. But yeah, the full NFL schedule will be released tonight at 8 p.m.
It literally feels like it's Christmas Eve for the NFL regular season. And then it's like, okay, in a few short hours, all your presents will be revealed, including that means the NFL schedule.
That's right. But yeah, 8 p.m. tonight is when the full NFL schedule will be released. And next week, which we will be back on our regular show, our regular night on Tuesday of next week, we will break down our thoughts on the NFL schedule. So be sure to tune in for that next week.
Yes, and that will be a very interesting breakdown when we know all the games next week. And back to the first game, I mean, it's really cool because, I mean, well, for one, my friend Ashley, who lives out there in near Kansas City. She's going to be going to this game, and knowing her, because I know her very well, she grew up in Maryland. So her roots are firmly planted in Maryland with the Ravens. And on that day, she will support Baltimore. And so that will be very interesting. And so it's very interesting with the schedule this year, because I really think that this Ravens-Chiefs game is going to be one of the more compelling opening season games that we have had in a long time. Because
for sure.
this will be kind of like the feeling out process, for both teams, because it's the first game of the season. And this will also be the very first game of the Chiefs' new acquisition at wide receiver in the draft.
That's right, Xavier Worthy. And speaking of wide receivers, a very interesting deal took place, or a very interesting signing took place earlier in the week, as former Chiefs wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling has
he's
agreed
going to the
one-year
Bills.
deal to join Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Finally, Buffalo makes a move,
That was about time.
to address somebody on the offensive side of the ball, because they had a bunch of no-name receivers pretty much heading into this season, that aren't worthy, no pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. But do you know who? But you know what the Dallas Cowboys have done in free agency?
Nothing!
Nothing.
Nada! Zilch! Zero! Nothing.
Cowboy-itis strikes again.
Yep, we've been struck by it, but not by a smooth criminal.
Dang.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, like we have said countless times, the schedule will be fully released at 8 p.m. Eastern. And moving on to the NBA playoffs. And there is a lot that has happened. And obviously, we talked about this last week. Don't listen to the media, because they were up in arms. Oh, after Minnesota blew Denver out of the gym on Monday last week in Denver. Ooh, they look like they're the heavy favorites, the new kings in basketball. We said it on this show last week. Do not count this team out, because it takes one game. Takes one game to turn the season around, and look where we are now.
The Denver
3 games
Nuggets
to
are
2.
now on top 3 games to 2, and I'm willing to bet you that somewhere Charles Barkley's eating a whole bunch of crow.
Yes, he is. I mean, in game 3 alone, they ran the Timberwolves off their home floor. By the third quarter, it was over. And then in the fourth quarter, Minnesota kept making somewhat runs, and Jokic and company just turned them away. And then last night, in game 5, I listened to that game all the way through on the way home from the concert, and I was just floored how, and not surprised obviously, how Nikola Jokic just makes it so easy. I mean, even with Rudy Gobert guarding him, and he's the defensive player of the year this year. And Jokic basically said, hey, I earned my Kia MVP trophy, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show all of y'all why I'm the best damn player in the National Basketball Association. And Nikola Jokic last night, 40 points, 13 assists, 7 rebounds, and here's the biggest stat of them all, 0 turnovers.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be very, very happy about.
That's something to be proud of. I just didn't.
You didn't just go there, sir.
If you got that reference, God bless you. Anyways, there's a lot you can hang your hat on if you didn't get that. But so yeah, Jokic last night was incredible. I mean, just jump shots, 3-pointers, including a rainbow 3 in that fourth quarter, driving to the basket, dropping dimes on the Timberwolves, just shredding their defense. I mean, nearly a full court pass, for the lay-in. I mean, just incredible court precision. that Jokic has for a big man. And I know my friend Bo and I have talked about this on the phone countless times, how Nikola Jokic honestly has brought back the fun of basketball. He is so much fun to watch because he's not your prototypical big guy. Here's a guy that is not built like any other guy. He's essentially an alien from a different planet. I mean, just the way Jokic is. I mean, just this dude is incredible. The length of him to play the way he plays, and just an incredible specimen on the basketball court.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Nikola Jokic, I mean, ever since the 2020 NBA season, Nikola Jokic has been in the top 3 of the MVP voting with, of course, 3 wins and a runner-up finish to his name. I mean, Jokic has completely transformed the game of basketball. I mean, if you were to ask anybody out there, even though he may not have had the same amount of success, but the fact that he has had, or that he's been the playmaker night after night after night after night, and not just any player, but the fact that he has the international flair also. I mean, if you were to ask anybody who Nikola Jokic reminds you of, it should be an absolute no-brainer. Dirk Nowitzki.
Exactly. And granted, Dirk was great. Don't get me wrong. But Jokic to me is better because he's a more complete player.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Because Jokic,
you never count Jokic out.
Yeah, exactly. And Jokic proved why, and Ezra brought up a great point in the chat a couple days ago. He should have won the damn thing 4 years in a row.
Yeah, he should have.
I mean, he proved last year why he should have been the MVP. And then this year, you know, even after winning a championship, he did not lose that hunger, you know, to go out there and win another one. Because if he gets a second championship title, that right there automatically puts him up there, you know, with the LeBrons, with the Durants, with, you know, the Kobes, with the Magics, with the Larry Birds, with the Dirk Nowitzkis. You know, even though Dirk only won one title, you know, with Shaq and Hakeem. I mean, because to me, Nikola Jokic, no matter where he stands as far as titles, he is going to be in my top 5 big men of all time in the NBA. Because he's a more complete player. That's why.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, and Anthony Edwards, he ate a very nice, sweet piece of humble pie yesterday and on I think it was, yes, Friday and Sunday especially, but especially last night. I mean, he struggled with last night. Yeah, he had 18 points, but so what? I mean, he didn't shoot good. I mean, in game 3 and game 4 at home, he still scored over, 40 points, 40 points in those games, and it still wasn't enough. Because the rest of his team, Karl Anthony Towns, is not putting up consistent numbers.
Yeah.
And also, as well, Mike Conley was sorely missed last night in game 5. He was out yesterday, and they better hope that he comes back for game 6, because if he doesn't, and even if he does, I'm calling it right now, Denver's advancing. You woke up a pissed off sleeping giant.
Oh, yeah, you definitely did.
I mean, and I don't mind this Timberwolves team. They're young. And can we stop, honestly? Can we stop with the comparisons with Anthony Edwards to, he's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant? Shut up. Just stop. Stop. Until you win a championship, don't worry, I'll wait. Seriously. Come on.
Yeah.
Stop. Come on. Moving on, and William makes a great point here in the chat. And nice segue, William. Thank you very much there, sir. The Celtics are very fortunate that they have faced 2 teams that have been beaten down with injuries. Obviously, last series with Miami, Jimmy Butler being out for the last couple of games. And then this series, Donovan Mitchell. Sorry, the best player in this series on both teams was out in game 4 and game 5. And or not excuse me, game 5 hasn't even happened. It happens later on tonight. But Donovan will probably not be playing tonight in game 5. So he's out for game 4. He's probably going to be out tonight for game 5. The Celtics are fortunate that they're playing a team that doesn't have their best player. Because if they had their best player for all games in this series, I think it goes 6, hell, even 7. Because that's how great Donovan Mitchell is. And talking about the Celtics right now and what they're going through, they're lucky. They got an easy path to the next round because more than likely they're going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't understand. Like, I get it. Boston, one of the best teams this year. But until you beat a team that's worthy, you know what I mean? Like, they won up, 70 games this year. Yes, so what? Until you beat somebody who's worthy and is worth the damn in the playoffs, then come back to me and say that they're one of the best teams. They got an easy cakewalk to the finals.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, more than likely, Boston is going to wind up facing Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. And
there's their test.
Yeah, that's true. There's their test right there. I mean, the Knicks have been one of the most, I would say, popular teams that has soared into the playoff picture ever since they acquired Jalen Brunson. So I mean, and Jalen Brunson, along with Dante DiVincenzo, has completely helped out the Knicks.
And obviously can't forget about Hart as well, because he's
Josh Hart too.
Josh Hart, to me, he's like that secret weapon, like in a band or whatever. That's that one member you don't think of that often. But man, is he a significant piece to that team. And more than likely, it's going to be the Knicks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And that right there will be Boston's test. And I'm sorry, but Boston just makes it hard on themselves at times when they should be cruising. In game 4, they had to sweat that one out. They should have blown Cleveland out the gym in that game. But no, they had to make it harder on themselves and the fans had to sweat it out. They were sitting there sweating bullets. I mean, just the way they were playing and not playing consistently, they were letting their guard down.
I got to be brutally honest about one thing, and that is the fact that if you were to take the Boston Celtics, same team, same coach, everything, and move them to the Western Conference and have them play a Western Conference schedule, Boston would be screwed. I mean, they might still make the playoffs, but they ain't gonna get nowhere close to 60 wins. Heck, they'll be lucky if they even get 45 or 50.
Exactly. And Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown and company, they're doing their thing.
But the Eastern Conference has been the weakest conference in NBA for several years now. And I'm sorry, but that's not going to change anytime soon.
Nope.
It's not.
Usually you have 2 or 3 teams that are predominantly good and the rest is mid.
Pretty much, because in the Western Conference, you have you have the Nuggets, you have the T-Wolves, you have the Oklahoma City Thunder. And speaking of which, joining us right now, it is our bro, Mr. KR, Kevin Roy. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? I thought I'd just hop on this live stream and kind of live stream bomb you guys and talk about some NBA playoffs and NFL schedule for a few minutes.
Kev, I know you've been sitting in the shadows waiting to attack with your opinions and your analysis. So the floor is yours, man.
Floor is yours, buddy.
Man, these NBA playoffs have been so unpredictable, I guess because of how even the field is on both conferences. But East is a little weak to me. I don't care how many games the Celtics have won. They are not a team I'm really confident in whatsoever, because this team goes from looking like world beaters and superstars, and Jason Tatum looks like he's the next Kobe Bryant. Then the next day, Jason Tatum looks like he's fucking Tobias Harris. I don't understand.
Wait, Kev. Don't you mean James Harden?
Yes, yeah, there we go. Exactly.
No. Here's something even better. Ben Simmons.
Oh, I was just thinking
Yeah,
that, but I was trying to be even
yes.
more aggressive.
He's a Ben Simmons that actually plays in the games. I don't get it. Tatum has got so much potential, so much talent to be sitting there breaking up threes, and then and everybody's oohing and ahhing about he's scoring 33 the other night. But let me just tell you, they beat the Cavaliers by like 7 points without Donovan Mitchell. Gee, literally, you should have won by 30. Oh, and
exactly.
These 33 points Jason Tatum have, let me just tell you, he got it on 30 shots. He was 11 for 30.
Oof.
Like, Jesus, that is the most inefficient stat line, while his counterpart, Jaylen Brown, had a phenomenal game. He had 27, but guess what? He was 9 of 14. Get this man 25 shots. He's probably putting up 50. I mean, I don't get it. The Celtics, I just don't trust them. I do not trust them.
I don't trust them either.
For some reason, they have played all inferior competition, and for some reason, every series in game 2, they get beat. They get their asses whooped. They played the Miami Heat with no Jimmy Butler and got their ass spanked in game 2. They played the Cleveland Cavaliers and got their ass spanked in game 2.
Pretty much.
You're getting away with that now. But when you go to play a team in the Western Conference like the Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City, you're going to get your ass spanked in game 1 and game 2. I mean, you can't just. I don't know. Knicks. I don't. The Knicks are the same way to me. Like they're playing good ball at times. I like their run they're on. I like their roster. I like their future. The problem is they play too much of that 2018 Houston Rockets basketball. Jalen Brunson, one-on-one, ISO. But you know what? And deeper in the playoffs you get, that ISO, your legs give out, your shot goes broke, and then what you're going to do? Because we've seen that with James Harden's Houston Rockets teams before against the Golden State Warriors. We've seen that on plenty of time Houston Rockets teams with James Harden in elimination games. Guys like that, your legs go out. They get you get burned out. You can't play like that. That's why I still say the favorites for the entire, and that's another thing of Boston's problem. When Boston plays like a team and moves the ball, they're damn near unstoppable on offense. The problem is they stop that shit and play one-on-one, and they go stagnant and just jack up shots, Jason Tatum. And that's exactly why they go 8-9 minutes without scoring a bucket, and they have the most blown double-digit leads in the NBA this year. Their latest, they blown a 30-point lead to the Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young and lost that game because of that exact thing. To me, I don't know. The East, it's really just a horse race of just Boston and New York. I like Indiana. I like their future. If Indiana gets another piece, I think they could be real lethal. I think they got a very good young team. I think they got a good coach and Rick Carlisle. I think they are on the rise, and they could make some noise in the future. But the Knicks, Jalen Brunson still he's dominant right now. So I'm just waiting on, like I said, when he plays Boston or in the finals and in that ISO crap, that shit ain't going to work against teams out in the West. He's on the East. That's not the Western Conference. And the West, I tell you what, this cat, Anthony Edwards, he is going to be a superstar. He is already on a historic level, but I can't, like I said, when they went up 2-0 on Nuggets, I said, hey, I'm not counting Denver out. They're defending champs. Exactly. They know how to get their shit together. That's what they needed to light a fire in their ass. They needed to get their ass one good time to light that fire and unite them to play together again. And that's what happened. Because I tell you what, exactly. You dumbass Laker fans out here that said, oh, we led the whole series against the Nuggets. Yes, but the Nuggets have played shitty the whole entire playoffs up until game 3. Like they've just been like they don't care. Like I promise you, if the Denver Nuggets of game 3, 4, and 5 was playing in the Lakers series, they would have won by double figures every single game and would have been up every single game and would have been a sweep. They didn't get going until game 3. And what lit a fire under their ass is all that talk about Rudy Gobert shutting down Jokic. Why did Jokic get MVP? He robbed such and such. He shouldn't have got it. He's not good. He's not. And you know what Jokic did? This man went out last night. Series tied 2-2. Critical, pivotal game 5. This man drops 40 points, 13 assists, and 0 turnovers. A guy who combines for 53 points and assists and has 0 turnovers is fucking insane. And he was cooking your defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert. Like Draymond Green said on the TNT broadcast, he said all Rudy Gobert was doing in his French language was talking about we, no. You was getting your ass cooked because here's a funny stat. When Gobert was guarding Jokic was 11 for 12. Missed one shot.
Yep.
He cooked.
Including last night, he was 8 for fucking 9.
Yes. He was
8 for
cooking
fucking 9.
He cooked Rudy Gobert. So I said that to say this. I think this series is over. I think Minnesota, they're so young. They got a good future. I love Anthony Edwards. I still think they need someone like a Klay Thompson or a shooting threat because they ain't got no shooters outside of Karl Anthony Towns. When Edwards got the ball, they have all their perimeter guys are all defenders, and it's just it's clogging up the paint. So I think if they get a shooter, they'll be a lot better. So I think Minnesota's on to the future, but Denver is defending champs for a reason. I think they'll get past this round. I think they should be the favorites going forward. If they play like they're supposed to play, I'm telling you. What turned it around for me was when I seen Jamal Murray hit that half-court shot of game 4, I believe. And, oh, my God. They scored a whopping 8 points. Well, let's see. 6. They scored a whopping 8 points in like 15 seconds of gameplay. They hit the 3, stole the ball in the next possession, got a wide open dunk, then stole the ball again, and Murray heaves it up from half court and hits a 3.
Reggie Miller is sitting there happy.
Right in his face. He shot the shot and then looked at Kevin Harlan on the call, and Reggie Miller and Kevin Harlan, of course, jumps out his seat screaming and carrying on. So that right there, the Timberwolves went from only being down 7 to down 15 within a span of 15 seconds.
Crazy how the game was
right there,
so close.
I'm like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back in my eye. I think Minnesota looks defeated. I think they just need to package it up in next year. And I think Oklahoma City's going to come out that other side.
And I was just about to ask you about that, Kev, because this OKC Dallas series has been very intriguing. I mean, back and forth. These two games have had runs. Both teams are not. They're not relinquishing. They're throwing counter punches at each other, and it's a competitive series. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's a dogfight. But I tell you what, that OKC has to be the most disrespected 1 seed I've ever seen. Like you got people calling them the worst 1 seed in NBA history. What do you want them to do? They swept in the first round. That's what a 1 seed's supposed to do. They absolutely obliterated the Pelicans.
That's
then
true.
They turn around and they absolutely have been physically dismantling Luka Doncic. Who would have told me Luka Doncic in the last game ends up 19 points, only 8 rebounds and 8 assists? 19 points for a man who scored 73 in a game this year.
Yeah.
74. Good.
Or a guy who could also crack 30, 34, 40, 50. I mean,
like we're talking about the guy who's the runner-up in the MVP race and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like he is a tank. This team is a tank. Chet Holmgren.
Hell, Alexander alone had 8 points in a row in game 4.
Exactly. And what I think was the most impressive of game 4 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had like 36 points, and you know what? Not a single one of them was a layup or a three-pointer. Everything he got was all jump shots. Like, that's impressive. There wasn't no free throw baiting or foul baiting like James Harden getting to
Speaking
the
of
line
free
20 something
throws,
times. He didn't hardly hit that many free throws. A lot of his was wide open shots, good looks, shot making ability. I mean, and then not to mention the defense he's put on Luka Doncic. And Kyrie Irving, they have been clamps on them boys. Kyrie's got loosed a couple times in the second half, but in that first half, Kyrie couldn't get a
nothing.
bucket to drop if the ball was right, if the rim was as big as the ocean. So I think Dallas had a chance. I just think OKC, man, this is a young, scrappy team, and I like them. I don't know why they get disrespected or get some damn shade thrown at them like that. I don't get it. But I feel like Denver, whoever, I don't even care. Whoever wins, Denver, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Dallas. Honestly, I would put, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on anybody over Boston because I don't trust the Celtics. Not against the Western Conference. Hell no, I don't trust them.
I don't either. And that's coming from me being a Celtics fan. I don't trust these guys in a big spot. Get it done. I don't trust them. Don't trust them at all.
I will say something. And I know it had to end because of the workplace misconduct, but I promise you, if what was the other coach? He coaches the Rockets now. What was his name?
For who?
He coached the Celtics in the finals, but he's on the Rockets now.
You talking about Udoka?
Yeah.
Udoka, yeah. I'll say this, like Stephen A. said, if Ime Udoka was the coach of Boston right now, they'd already have a championship. And it was probably would have been last year. Or possibly definitely this year. They were way more consistent under Ime Udoka. Way more consistent. I will say that. Joe Mazzulla just had he's got his shit haywire right now for Boston. I don't get it. Like they are not disciplined.
And talking about free throws, Kev, in that OKC Dallas game on Monday night, there was a lot of missed free throws. Dallas missed 9 free throws in that game. If they hit
Luka
5 or 7 of those,
6.
they win the game.
Yes, Luka particularly. At the end, he had free throws to tie the game, and he missed one, and that's when they've had to foul OKC because it was under the shot clock in the fourth. If he hits those, it's a different ball game. You're talking about somebody trying to go for the damn game winner at that point. But because he missed, all OKC had to do was get it in the hands of the best free throw shooter and make it a free throw shooting contest.
And OKC made their free throws, unlike Dallas did, and that's why the series is tied 2-2.
Down, and that was all she wrote.
And that's why the series is tied.
Oklahoma City.
Now, as far as, where we standing, with these playoffs, I mean, I think Denver more than likely is going to face OKC in the Western Conference Finals. I think that series goes 6, maybe 7.
I agree. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Now, as far as the NFL schedule is concerned, Kev, I know you have some thoughts on that because we know the Ravens and the Chiefs are going to be facing each other on the opening game. It also was announced that the San Francisco 49ers will be taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets on Monday Night Football.
I find something pretty funny about that. And this is what I mean. I believe the NFL is petty towards Aaron Rodgers. I really do. Because, hear me out, like Aaron Rodgers, not only is he going to be opening up on another Monday Night Football game, same situation as last year when he tore his Achilles, he's also facing the player that tackled him when his Achilles got ruptured in Leonard Floyd, who is now a 49er. NFL couldn't have scripted this much better because you're not only having to go out to the West Coast, have a rookie offensive line coming back from Achilles surgery against probably the best front 7 in football, but now you got to go against the guy who tore your Achilles on the tackle. The NFL's just got something out for Aaron Rodgers. They're sick of this shit. Roger Goodell said, I'm about to prove a point here. But yeah, as far as the schedule's concerned, I see a lot of Chiefs fans, and not really Chiefs fans, but people complaining about, oh, the Chiefs got a tough schedule to start. Why is the defending champions they got to go play the Ravens? Then they got to go to Cincinnati and play Joe Burrow. But you know what? I get what the NFL is doing. Hear me out. The NFL is putting these prime marquee quarterback matchups early in the season because they're scared. Like last year, if they put it late in the year, injuries changed the whole matchup. Like we watched last year, a Cincinnati Bengals team with no Joe Burrow play Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. And who wanted to see that shit with no Joe Burrow?
Right,
Nobody.
right.
The Jets got like 10 primetime games with no Aaron Rodgers. Who the fuck wanted to watch the Jets with Zach Wilson on Monday Night Football 5 or 6 different
Who the
times?
hell wanted
Nobody.
the third string quarterback throwing 99-yard pick six to the Dolphins on Black Friday? Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. So now I feel like the NFL's pushing all these marquee matchups. Aaron Rodgers against the 49ers, like hometown, back to the push that at the beginning so you don't have to deal with it at the end where nobody's going to watch that shit. Like, I know the 49ers got the Chiefs in week 8 in the Super Bowl rematch. Cowboys and 49ers, I heard, was leaked for week 10 on Sunday afternoon or Sunday night as well.
Yeah, hey, so right in between, you guys are going to be facing Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears in week 9.
Yes. I read that too. I read the Vikings will be week 2 for the 49ers at the Vikings, and a little bit of a revenge game, but that week 1 against the Jets, I'm really juiced up for that because I want to put Aaron Rodgers back in the fucking ground again. He comes out of his dark hiding retreat, we're going to put him back in it, damn it. Nick Bosa and the crew's coming for him, but yeah,
I honestly hope for Rodgers' sake he's not listening to Led Zeppelin's song Achilles' Last Stand, but I digress.
I tell you what, though, I am feeling some of these Thursday night football matchups, to be honest. That's already been leaked. I mean, opening day, Chiefs and Ravens, who couldn't have wanted it? The AFC Championship.
Yes.
And then you got the week 2 Thursday night football is a pretty decent one, too. Josh Allen against the Dolphins. Miami and Buffalo. Yeah, I'd take that 10 times out of the week, too. Give me that. Waiting to hear what the rest are, but I've heard rumors about the Thanksgiving Day games. I've heard rumors about the Christmas Day game. Well, also, let's not forget all Christmas Day games are going to be broadcasted exclusively on Netflix.
Well,
crying out loud.
Well, actually, the Christmas Day games have been announced. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Steelers, and then in the nightcap, it's going to be
Texans and the Ravens.
Yep.
I knew that was, they leaked that, and then I heard the Thanksgiving Day game. I heard.
Yeah, it's going to be the Lions and the Bears, the Giants and the Cowboys, and then the Packers and the Dolphins.
Oh, dear God. They should have put it. They should have did the other one that was rumored. They should have did the Texans and the Cowboys, the Diggs combo. That would have been much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Get your Texas 2-for-1 combo special. It is the Diggs combo.
Let me just say, I don't know what Hitler or anybody in Germany has done to Roger Goodell, but Roger Goodell gave Germany the shittiest game with the Giants or the Panthers. let me just rant about that. You know what? Keep your teams. Keep the Giants and the Panthers over in Germany. Take their team plane and fly it back home without them. Just move them into Germany. Let them play every year. Kick them out of America. Nobody wants to watch that crap. I mean, the G-Men and the Panthers, keep them over there. Keep them in Germany. Who the hell wants to watch that? I hope that's one of them games that come on at like 3 o'clock in the morning here in America. I mean, at least I got some crap to wake up to. Final score 8-6. Panthers win. Germany game. That'd be something to wake up to at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Hey. I'll tell you what, that Giants-Panthers game goes as awful as it sounded so far. It might top the Colts and the Broncos from a couple years ago.
Oof. This is true. And how fitting it is on October 6th?
But you know what? At least it's going to be sometime in the middle of
November 10th.
Giants
and Panthers.
Damn it.
At least it'll be sometime over in the morning. Holy crap. At least it ain't a Thursday night prime time. All of America can watch it. It's gonna be something that ends at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So who gives a crap?
I think Kev's also hoping that the damn stadium falls in implodes.
No, the Panthers could make it interesting, and the Giants. Because hear me out. I remember the last overseas game that I really got into was, I think it was the Seahawks and the Bucks, when Tom Brady played wide receiver and they tried to throw a halfback pass to Tom Brady running a go route. I said, you know what? Only on overseas games that you can find this crap. Someone put Daniel Jones at wide receiver. Let me see him run and trip over the grass again. That's something we can all wish for. But yeah, it's a good game this year. It definitely is. I'm scared to see what the middle of the season looks like for like Thursday night football games. I mean, Jesus Christ, we might actually get a fucking the Giants and the damn Giants and the Saints Thursday night game, for crying out loud. I mean, come on, man.
And by the way, real quick, Joey. Also, too, how about the fact that also too, Kev, that Tom Brady's first game as the NFL analyst on Fox, the Browns and the Cowboys
in Cleveland, in the dog pound. Cowboys might start off that one 0-1.
What's up, Joey?
I'm taking a sneak peek at some of the NFL scheduled games that have been leaked, and I see a pretty good one. I'm not sure exactly what week this is. Probably somewhere around the week 13, week 14 range, but it's going to see Josh Allen and the Bills taking on Brock Purdy and the 49ers.
Ooh.
Yes, that's going to be, I did see the leak on Monday. It's going to be a Sunday night football game.
Nice.
Because they did officially announce that 49ers have 6 primetime games, and the Cowboys, the Bills, the Jets, the Seahawks, and the not the Chiefs, the Lions. But unfortunately, the Lions matchup might be iffy because it's week 18, and who knows? There might be no playoff scenarios could be happening. But then again, who knows? It could be both teams tied fighting for the 1 seed. So I don't know. Just got to hope for it. But if it's nothing to be gained from, that's a waste of an opportunity by the NFL, because me personally, I would have liked to seen that as the Christmas Day game. Lions, Niners, Ravens, Texans. That would have been one hell of a slate. But
holy crap. Check out this week 1 matchup that I just saw that has just been leaked. It's going to be a rematch from the playoffs. It's going to feature Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions against Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams.
Ooh. Nice.
Starting with somebody, we start with an L.
Wow.
That's tough. Damn. Lions and the Rams. God, that's going to be a good one.
For real, right? Let's see, I'm trying to see if there's any other interesting good ones here.
Oh, real quick, William says here in the chat that the Celtics in their last game against the Cavs, 27 free throws, Cavs 7, 0 fouls in the fourth quarter, or zero fouls in the fourth quarter. Interesting.
Here we go.
That'll make it say interesting.
Let's see. Here we go. The Russell Wilson Bowl, Week 1. Broncos in Seattle.
No.
The Russell Wilson Bowl.
Interesting. Which one of them clowns in Denver is going to be the one starting?
Right.
I mean, you got Bo Nix or Zach Wilson. You know what? I think they should just go out there and pay Nikola Jokic, because he made a pass last night and he looked like the best quarterback since John Elway in Denver.
I mean, he threw a
bomb. He caught the ball, rebound one-handed, right there to Jamal Murray for a dunk. I said, that's the best throw that Denver's ever seen since John Elway was in town. Holy cow. I said, they didn't line him up
2.0. Oh, man.
Holy cow.
Oh, here we go. Check out this matchup on Sunday Night Football, Week 4.
Joey, I swear to God, if you say something about Carolina and New Orleans, I'm going to kill you.
No. It's actually good. It's going to be Josh Allen and the Bills at Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Ah, there you go.
Yep, Sunday
I'm
Night
just so
Football, Week
scared.
4.
I know we haven't really talked about it, but I'm just so scared about this Bills this year. I don't know what we're going to get because they literally lost every single player they had on defense and
Pretty
all
much.
of their wide receivers. I'm a little scared. I don't know what we're going to see from the Bills.
Oh, wow. And that Rams-Lions matchup on Week 1 is going to be the Sunday Night Football game that week.
Ooh.
You know what? Prime time, I got to say it. The NFL has outdone themselves with this schedule for Week 1. Every primetime game is legit. Ravens, Chiefs Thursday, Rams, Lions Sunday night, and then the Jets at the 49ers Monday night. That's a former 49er reunion with Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan, defense and offense. I tell you what, the NFL's outdone themselves.
They definitely have, and my God,
Oh, dear
September
God.
cannot get hit. Oh God, what is it now, Joey?
Week 15, Dallas going to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Dear God.
At least you get to see Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes in Week 2.
True.
And see,
True.
Oh, yeah.
in Week 17, Sunday Night Football, Miami at Cleveland.
That's intriguing.
Interesting.
Not sure how I feel about that one.
Could be good, could be bad. Just to wait and see.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, the Lions got some good games here at the second half of their schedule. Let's see. Week 10, they're going to Houston to take on the Texans. Week 15,
Ooh, that'll be good.
Week 15, they're at home against the Bills. Week 17, they go to San Francisco to take on the Niners.
Good God, that schedule gets tough.
Yes, it really does. It really does. Oh, speaking of which, Lions and Texans, that's going to be the Sunday Night Football game, Week 10.
Ooh.
And see, and Week 15, we're going to see the Miami Dolphins in Houston to take on the Texans. So that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Week 11, Sunday Night Football, the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets.
Oh, dear God.
Why?
Let's just hope everybody's healthy. Let's
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, God. And this was even worse. Sunday Night Football, Week 7, the Jets and the Steelers.
Oof.
you know what? I gotta say, I was looking at the Bears schedule. They got a pretty easy schedule for a rookie quarterback. Up until the end of the year, they got Week 8. They're at Washington, at the 49ers, but then they got the Patriots and the Vikings and the Seahawks. Damn, they got a pretty easy schedule. They might actually make a little bit of noise.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. Oh, Week 2, Sunday Night Football, Bears and the Texans.
Interesting.
Oh, dear God. Panthers and Raiders, Week 3.
Why?
Oh, no. Week 8, Thursday Night Football. The NFL outdone themselves. Here we go.
What they do?
Vikings at the Rams. Yippee! Whoop-de-doo! Who wants to watch this crap?
Here we go.
Oh, they really outdid themselves now for Monday Night Football in Week 15. The Vikings against the Bears. Remember last year? What in the hell for Monday night? Put that on Sunday afternoon. What?
Hey, Week 12.
Hell?
Week 12, the 49ers going up to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
That's nice.
Let's see. Saints at the Chiefs, Week 5.
Interesting.
Oh dear God! Yeah, they really outdone themselves here. Week 2, Saints at the Cow Turds. Up Cowboys.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that I'm looking here at the 49ers so far confirmed games. They got a nice little stretch between week 6 and week 8. They got week 6 on Thursday night, the Seattle Seahawks at Seattle, and then 10 days later they got the Super Bowl rematch with the Chiefs. Then 7 days later after that, they host the Cowboys for Sunday Night Football. That's a little interesting. And like you said, Joey, they got at the Packers week 12 and turn around and go at Buffalo for Sunday Night Football the next week.
Man, I tell you what, they need to put this week 11 game on Sunday Night Football. Mahomes and the Chiefs against Josh Allen and the Bills.
Oh.
Interesting.
This is interesting. Intriguing.
Yeah, the schedule's looking pretty intriguing so far as it keeps going.
Ooh, Dolphins and Seahawks week 3, Bills and Seahawks week 8.
Nice.
I'm waiting to see some bullshit like the fucking Broncos at the fucking Giants or some shit for Thursday night.
Well, here's the battle of the Liberty Bell. Week 15, Steelers and the Eagles.
Liberty Biberty.
NFL is getting confusing with their damn platforms. They're broadcasting games all over Peacock, Netflix.
Oh, check out this matchup. Week 2, Russell Wilson going back to Denver. Steelers and the Broncos. Woo. Let's see. Dolphins and Bills week 9. So yeah, they've released. They've leaked quite a few games here.
Do the Steelers play the Bears this year?
I don't believe so.
That would actually be interesting if Justin Fields is the Steelers starter by the end. Justin Fields versus his own team.
I know.
That would be pretty intriguing to watch. Because I don't think Russell Wilson's going to last the whole year as the starting quarterback.
No, I don't think so either.
So I'm just hoping Fields is in by the time they play.
Oh, and let's not forget the London Jaguars once again playing back-to-back games in London.
Yep.
They might as well relocate their whole team over there. Get the hell out of Florida. Might as well.
Oh, let's see. Eagles at the Bengals week 8.
Oh,
that's interesting.
All right.
Everybody's healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot that they do host the first ever Brazil game Friday too.
That's right.
Yeah, the Packers and the Eagles.
Packers. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, they've announced quite a few games.
Yeah, I think we'll know every bit finally confirmed by 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
I believe.
Yep. 8 o'clock tonight.
Every hour,
But you know
it's like
what?
we're getting a nice little sneak peek.
I really think the players find out before we do because George Kittle posted something that basically confirmed everything the other day. Before Adam Schefter broke that the Jets were at the 49ers on week 1, George Kittle had posted on his Instagram a picture of him and Aaron Rodgers the day before. So you can't tell me players already know what's going on.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
I'm sure they do.
Posted the picture and then a day later
They
it
know.
broke.
They do because
confirmed.
I'm sure they do because how else do they release all these cool schedule release videos?
That's true too.
Right.
They just
They
aren't
know.
allowed. The
They
NFL bans
know.
them from telling anybody until 8 o'clock on that Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
But they did. I believe they do tell players which ones will be like announced to the public for like prime time that week or something. That's why I think George Kittle went ahead and posted that. He knew Adam Schefter was about to break it the very next day about the opening night. But let's see how that goes. It's gonna be an interesting year in the NFL.
It
See how
is.
the rookies do in the draft and see which ones were steals in the later rounds and it's gonna
See
be
if the Chiefs can be the first team to do a three-peat in the NFL as Super Bowl champs.
I'm really intrigued on their first round draft pick, Xavier Worthy, too, by the way.
Mhm.
I'm scared. He could be Tyreek Hill, but then again, he could be another John Ross from that year that didn't have
True.
nothing but speed and couldn't catch. So we'll see.
Hey, here we go. Here's a massive 2024 schedule leak. The Browns would not be playing in the Super Bowl this year.
That's not a fact. That is a spoiler.
Oh,
trying to hold- I'm trying to hold back.
here's
No.
another 2024 schedule leak. The Dallas Cowboys have already been eliminated from the playoffs.
Here's the first snap. Hut! And the season's over for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, here we go.
Here's another leak. It ain't even about the schedule. Here's a contract leak. Right now, like based on all salaries and what you're getting paid by your ex team, Ezekiel Elliott is the highest paid running back in the NFL. Literally. He knew what he was doing. Dallas is still paying him on his old contract $8 million, and now he's making $7 million, breaking Christian McCaffrey's salary of just under $16 million. So he is the highest paid running back in the NFL. But then you got guys like Derrick Henry who only getting paid $9 million in Baltimore. What the?
Kev, don't you mean he's the highest paid center?
Listen, I need the damn agents who be getting Kirk Cousins and fucking Ezekiel Elliott money because they could get me some money. I mean,
Speaking of, Kevin, I know you posted about this on Facebook and Twitter. What the living hell were the Falcons thinking getting Michael Penix?
I have no idea. I'm not mad at the pick. I'm mad at where he was drafted. You could have drafted somebody else and still Michael Penix would have been on the board in the second round. I get you want to find your quarterback. I get it because you don't know about Kirk Cousins. I do get it. Trust me. Kirk is coming off an Achilles injury. He's post 30 years old. He's old.
He sucks in prime time.
You don't know what you're going to get if it's after 1 o'clock. Dear God, yes. But you don't know what you're going to get. So I agree. Yes, that's the right decision, but not in the right slot. Number 8 overall, you're not drafting a quarterback to sit on the bench for 3 years, and especially one that's a rookie like Penix, who's already like 24, 25 years old. Jesus Christ. If you're going to pick someone that got in that slot, you want to pick a 20-year-old who's young and raw and who can learn. You don't want to pick someone that old in that slot. Penix is a play now, plug and play guy who can he's old enough to just come in and be a Band-Aid at that point. That's why he wasn't going to be a first-round pick. So Atlanta had any chance they want. You could have went out and got Dallas Turner. You could have got Latu, all these edge rushers that would have made your team 100% better. All these corners who could play opposite of AJ Terrell. You had a million opportunities to draft anybody that can help this team this year make the playoffs because they play in a weak ass division, but you chose quarterback. Me personally, I would go DN. Me personally, I would go corner. Me personally, I would go anybody but even offensive tackle, anybody. Because 38th or the 39th overall pick in the draft, Penix would have still been available. So I do not like that concept whatsoever. I do, however, love what the Chicago Bears have done with not only they get Caleb Williams, they gave him the best situation of any rookie quarterback because you got DJ Moore last year. You got a decent offensive line. You went and signed DeAndre Swift at running back. Your defense came along midseason. You traded for Montez Sweat. You go out there and re-sign Jalen Johnson. So now and then you draft Roma Dunze because Keenan Allen, he's old. He's not going to last too much longer. He's got 1 year left on the deal. So when Keenan Allen leaves, you got another wide receiver that's going to be big time. So I like what the Bears have done in this draft. I think they basically aced the draft. So it's just a wait and see with them. But I'm pretty excited for their future. Hopefully, Caleb Williams don't goes and tries to paint his nails while he's playing quarterback. I don't get it, Caleb.
Or better yet, hope he doesn't link up with Kyler Murray so they can play some Call of Duty.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear. Kyler Murray. Oh, my
Horrible.
God. Horrible.
Oh God.
But yeah, fellas, I'm gonna hop off here. It was good talking about the NBA playoffs and the NFL schedule leaks. But hey, I'm gonna call it now while I'm on the show. My NBA Finals prediction: Boston and Denver, and I got Denver in 5.
Woo! That's convincing.
You know what? I'll be nice. I'll go Denver in 6. I think Tatum and them will get going for 1-2 games. I got Denver in 6. That's gonna be my call. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, everybody. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all boys later, and hope everybody has a good night.
Thanks for joining us, brother, as always.
Yes, sir. Glad to be on the show. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. That was glorious.
Oh yeah, absolutely glorious.
You know
Or
it's
should
a
I
hoop
say,
and
absolutely glorious.
It was wonderful. Yes.
But my wife just got home from work, and so we're about to go eat supper. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off here for the night. So peace out, everybody. I'll see you guys next week where we will talk about our thoughts on the NFL schedule.
Great job, brother.
All right, guys. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir. Man, what a great show here this evening. What a great time with Joey and Kevin tonight. And I do want to touch upon one thing real quick too in the NHL, because this is very significant that the Carolina Hurricanes were trailing 3-0 to the New York Rangers. And the Hurricanes have rattled off 2 consecutive victories to push this back to Raleigh, North Carolina on Thursday for a Game 6. And I'm telling you, if the Rangers do not win on the Hurricanes' home ice, they will implode in Game 7, because it's only happened 4 times that a team has came back from a 3-0 deficit in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And if the Rangers do not take care of business on Thursday, it's over. It's over. Because you can't recover from significant losses like that, especially in your home building at Madison Square Garden. The Hurricanes skated past them easily 4-1. So it's really crazy how this, a series can turn around just like that. And just incredible. You got to keep the foot on the gas if you're the Rangers. You got to beat this team, tomorrow. Because if you don't, it's done. You're done. There's no coming back after losing 3 consecutive games when you've led the series 3-0. Now, mind you, a couple of the games could have gone either way, because 2 of the games in this series went to overtime. And the Rangers won both of those games and got all the lucky breaks and all that type of stuff. So if I'm the Hurricanes, I treat this game in my building on Thursday night like it's Game 7. If you're the Hurricanes, it's all or nothing. You leave it out there on the ice. And if they win tomorrow night, the Hurricanes, I'm calling it, are winning in 7. And with that being said, it's been a great show. Thank you for Joey for joining me tonight. And also thank you for Kevin for joining us here tonight. Great show with everybody. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. But since the show could not be done last night due to a family emergency in Ezra's family, we decided to do the show here today. And it's been an awesome show. And thank you to William Thank you to Big T for joining us here in the chat, and to everybody out there who watches this show on demand. Thank you very much as well. And great show. And if you want to follow us, like I said, on our social media platforms, again, Twitter at @ON_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on Tuesdays at YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. And if we have to make a schedule change as far as where we're hosting, like we are today on Wednesday, or whatever we have to do, we will let you guys know on our social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on try that again. On Twitter at Nation's Corner, on Facebook.com/Nation's Corner, and where they are live on every single Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, at YouTube.com/Nation's Corner. Don't forget to check out the guys and gal as they cover all things professional wrestling. And speaking of professional wrestling, AEW Dynamite is tonight, and we are a couple of weeks away from Double or Nothing in Sin City. And Great show here today with everybody here today. Thank you for joining us here today. And like I said, for those that join us later on demand, thank you for joining us as well. So with that being said, for Randy Gyron, William Gyron, Ezra Vickery, Kevin Rory, Joseph Thornton, Hijacker Mike, our boy out there in the Bay Area, I've been your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. Thank you for joining us here today for another edition of Our Nation Sports Show. Take care of each other. Be good to one another. Enjoy the sports this week. Enjoy the wrestling if you're in the wrestling and all that good stuff. Enjoy your life. Have fun. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And also, I forgot to mention as well, happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there that celebrate that had a blast with their mothers over the weekend, like I did. Had a lot of fun hanging out with my mother on Sunday, on Mother's Day. And to all of the moms out there that I know, friends and family, hope you all had a happy Mother's Day over the weekend. And all of us here on Our Nation Sports Show are so grateful and blessed to do what we do. And we love doing this show. And we will be back next week. Same time, same channel on our regular scheduled day on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. So for Kevin Rory, Joseph Thornton, Ezra Vicky, Randy Gyron, William Gyron, I have been your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand, and thank you for joining us tonight for another edition of Our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Peace.